podcast party. Descent into Avernus.
My name is Renascence. My friends and I are trying to stop the city of Baldur's Gate from going to hell, literally. Our investigation has led us to a floating tavern called the Low Lantern, and a man called Amrick Vanthampur. Amrick's family is involved in a plot that concerns devils, cultists, and a city that vanished into the ground. We need to know exactly what Amrick knows about all this. And now we're face to face with him. Good evening, Amrick. Or, morning, innit? It's quite a place you've got here.
Yes. Well, it's not home, but it is a place to do business, and I'm assuming that's what you're here to do, business.
Yeah, well, I'm sort of making my way across the deck, and I see that he's kind of ensconced in a little... It's like a couple of chaise lounges and a table in between.
Yep, and he's got his feet on the table.
I will take a seat opposite him if he's inviting us to sit.
He is indeed.
Diagonally across from him on the opposite lounge.
Okay.
And I say, just wanted to stop by and let you know that we took care of our share of the arrangement.
Yes, I guess you were successful to some degree. Aye, that's true.
Oh, it seems like you might already have been informed.
Well, things are often to my ears faster than you'd expect.
I reckon so. So, in light of job well done and all that, our mutual friend certainly seems satisfied. We figured this makes us square.
Square. I always like squares. Even sides, great shape.
So I don't believe we've had the pleasure of meeting your friend. I nod to the devil behind him.
Oh, well, Kashara's not so much of a friend as she is a loyal companion. This creature with this awful spined back and glowing red eyes levels its head in your direction and utters forth this sort of low purr. But it doesn't sound like any cat that you would ever want to meet. It's like very low and gravelly, and it has sort of a little bit of a hiss in it.
Is it a word? An infernal?
No, it does not speak. It's just a sort of an utterance.
I say, same to you, darling. Kashara, she's sort of a new friend of yours. Is this like still the honeymoon phase with you two?
Oh no, Kashari and I have known each other for a long, long time. She's been loyal and constant. Isn't that right, dear? And he puts the back of his hand on Kashara's rather sinewy arm and gives it a loving stroke.
Touching.
Corbin approaches also, but he's not going to go sit down. He's leaning against the outside wall of the ship with the devil creature between him and Vanthampur.
Yeah, and Hylan is behind the couch right next to a thug that's standing there just to keep her eye on the room.
His hands are at his midsection, but you see that all of these individuals, except for potentially the Kenku bartender, who's minding his business, keeping his eyes level with the bar and sort of giving it a wipe down, all of these people are armed with swords and daggers.
They look like guards?
Well, there was one that you passed on the way down the stairs, who was at the foot of the stairs. There's one who is standing behind another set of stairs, which seem to go down further into the ship. And then there's one who is directly next to Hylan. Those are the guards who have nondescript guard-like clothing on. Then there was a fourth presence in the room, who Vanthampur named Vultus. And this individual has sort of sleepy-looking eyes and a bob of red hair, very pale skin. And he has two swords, one on each hip, and a vest full of daggers.
I say, Amrick, before we get down to brass tacks, I thought I saw a couple of suspicious characters hanging out on the docks, giving your boat the eyeful. They might be working in an official capacity, if you know what I mean. Thought you might be interested.
Oh, how kind of you to mention it. Do you have any idea how and why they're here?
Well, they didn't follow us, so might be keeping an eye on you for somebody. Thought you might want to send one of your lads up to have a look.
He smiles at you and says, well, I guess I could spare one of my lads. And he snaps his fingers, and one of the guards goes up into the second tier of the ship.
So like I was saying, Amrick, I didn't really take you for a public-spirited fellow, but seems I misjudged you. You've done the city of Baldur's Gate a great service. I just wanted to check if it's sort of thing you'd care to keep discreet, or if it's all right to spread the good word. Amrick Vanthampur has helped to make the city a bit safer.
I don't think I follow you, Renascence.
Well, the job you had us do turned out to maybe be in the public interest. Not necessarily what we was expecting.
Oh, please regale me with what you think the public interest is.
Well, I'm not sure I should go into details unless we're all friends here. I look around the room. Meaningfully, like it's, if I don't care about talking about it, but if he doesn't want me to talk his business in front of everyone.
Yeah, Amrick sort of looks you up and down and says, oh, well, of course we're all friends. I mean, if you feel better about it, we could have a drink, or one for you, one for any of your... I don't know. So the last time we talked, it didn't really feel like drinking. You guys were more in the mood of, oh, help me, Amrick, help me, help me, help me. And I was more than happy to oblige. But now that we've done each other favors, perhaps we could have a good drink over it.
I look towards the Kenku bartender and I say, whiskey.
The Kenku levels his beak at you and goes, whiskey.
I'll take an ale.
I'll take an ale.
So we went to see our mutual acquaintance, Captain Zodge. He had a very interesting favor that he needed done.
Wait, how is Zodge?
Sort of flushed and sweaty.
That's Zodge, all right.
Stop me if I'm boring you about what that favor was.
Oh, no, please.
It seemed that he needed a certain bathhouse cleared out.
Mm-hmm. A bathhouse. Interesting, yeah.
And you'll never guess who was under that bathhouse.
I can't be sure unless you tell me.
Can I insight check him to see if he's clearly already knows everything I'm already telling him?
Sure, go for it.
God damn it. Okay, 7.
He's very hard to read at this point. He's just giving you this broad grin and this rather beady-eyed stare.
I say, well, it was a bunch of murderous cultists, wasn't it? Worshippers of the dead 3.
You don't say.
Yeah. I could barely believe it myself. But rest assured, we put them to the sword and they won't be doing any more culting anytime soon.
Any more culting? I like the way you turned that into a verb. Culting.
So, I figure that makes you a bit of a hero.
Well, doesn't make me a hero. It makes, I guess it makes you heroes.
Yeah, but you could have had us do anything. Like you said, we was desperate. But you had us do this. I'm really impressed.
Oh, well, I'm impressed as well. I'm rather impressed.
While this is happening, I want to try to take a look at Amrick Vanthampur and see if he's got any sort of tells. Is there something that I noticed that he's doing when he's nervous or uncomfortable, or that we've surprised him in any way?
Okay. I'm going to say, since you've been watching him for at least a good 3 or 4 minutes and studying him, I'm going to say make an investigation check.
Okay.
I'm just going to keep talking to try to keep his attention while she's checking him out.
Go for it.
I say, so, what I'm wondering is, if this is all a new and exciting story to you, Amrick, why, you thought we was dead?
He puts his hands behind his head and puts his feet a little further onto the table and says, well, you see, Renascence, I did not know that you'd actually go through with it. That's the first thing. I thought you and the rest of you would simply skip town, or at least attempt to, but seeing as the basilisk gate is now shut. Flaming Fist is doing their utmost to try to keep everybody in and out of the city. I guess that didn't work out too well, now did it?
Well, story ain't over.
Never is. How are you liking your whiskey, Renascence?
Where the fuck is my whiskey?
The Kenku shuttles over to your table and just like drops the whiskey on the table and then moves over to Hylan and gives her ale.
Yeah, I take a little like a courtesy party sip where I'm not I'm not really going to drink a lot of it. Just sort of take a little sip and I say to mutually beneficial relationships.
Amrick looks at Corbin and Ofelia and says, it's not polite to stare. I know that your friend here is doing all the talking, but you're part of the group, I would assume. Isn't that right there?
Could I ask a question, sir?
Sure. Actually, before you do that, Ofelia, what did you get on your investigation check?
I rolled a 14.
You've been looking at Vanthampur this whole time, and with a 14, you're noticing that his fingers are sort of doing a strange set of movements every once in a while. You're not quite sure what that means. You're not seeing them glow or anything like that, but like his fingers sort of had this weird nervous tick maybe. You're not quite sure what that means.
Does anyone else seem to be picking up on this? Like, could he be signaling or could somebody else be appearing to respond to this sort of...
Who are you going to look at? Make a choice as to who you're going to look at in the room.
I would like to look at Kashara. I'd like to look at her, at Valtis, and are there two guards? You said these two kind of thuggish guards.
That's correct.
The third guy went upstairs, right?
Correct. Okay, make 3 separate perception checks and tell me what you get.
So that's going to be a 16 on Valtis.
Okay.
An 8 on Kashara.
Okay.
And a 7 on the guard next to Hylan.
So you look over at Valtis. Valtis seems to have his eyes trained directly on Amrick Vanthampur. And when a couple of these finger gestures come out, Valtis seems to sort of shift a little bit in his movement. Beyond that, you don't notice anything about Kashara, and you don't notice anything about the thug next to Hylan, other than he's giving Hylan a rather intimidating stare.
How does Valtis shift?
From left to right, a little bit. Corbin, what exactly are you doing?
So Corbin's leaning against the wall, and he's really watching the devil for the most part.
Okay.
And then he's going to interrupt and say,
could I ask a question, sir?
To Vanthampur, he says.
He sort of leans forward and then moves his head towards you.
Oh, sorry, I don't drink, church business, don't drink. I was just wondering if your dog there, if it did some sort of tricks. Can you get it to do a trick?
I spit a little bit of the tiny bit of ale in my mouth out.
Okay.
And then Corbin wants to watch the reaction between the two, because he's not sure who's in charge here.
Sure.
And he wants to see if one reacts without the other, or one gives a dirty look or whatever.
Well, from the devil, there is no reaction whatsoever. The devil doesn't even look in your direction, however. Amrick, he's all smiles. And then when you say the dog, his smile sort of falters for a little bit. And he sort of squints at you, Corbin, but does not respond.
So it doesn't do anything? It just sits there?
Amrick laces his hands behind the back of his head and says, so I'm guessing that your friends don't drink, just you. I guess you're the only civilized one. Am I right, Renascence?
I say, well, let's not change the subject, Amrick. Pull up my little dreidel and just start tossing it up and down in my hand. I want to see if your dog can go fetch. And I want to abjure the extra planar on that devil.
Okay, then.
Motherfucker.
Corbin laughs.
What does that mean? Tell our loving audience what you have just done.
So the top starts spinning violently in my hand, and that newly painted eye that Ofelia painted on the front of my breastplate suddenly glows red and stares a beam directly at the spine devil. And I am using my channel divinity to castigate unworldly beings.
Okay.
Every...
Sounds cool.
I like the word castigate.
Yeah, any aberration, celestial, elemental, fey, or fiend within 30 feet of me that can hear me must make a wisdom saving throw.
Please fail, please fail, please fail. I want to see this.
That's going to be a DC 13.
DC 13 wisdom save.
Yeah.
Okay, here we go. She has advantage on saving throws. That is a 19 wisdom save.
Damn it!
What happens on a success?
Probably nothing.
Okay.
Yeah, nothing whatsoever.
But the beam does, in fact, come out and hit this creature.
It would see my chest plate glow. It would be very obvious that I did something.
Okay. The being that you just attempted to, and I love this word, castigate, it just like screeches. Amrick grabs for his rapier.
Oh my God.
And shing pulls it out. And Valtis, the guy at the end of the bar, shing shing pulls out 2 swords. And Amrick says, "Deception, I like you. Now let's see if you can really die." And then let's roll initiative.
I was just about to try to get us off this ship.
I know.
Hylan.
Yeah.
Speaking of Hylan, make a Constitution saving throw, please.
Happy to. Fucking fantastic.
So let's do declarations of initiative here.
Ophelia rolled a 20.
Hylan got a 4.
Oh my gosh.
Renaissance got a 4.
Corbin got a 9.
You guys are all sounding so depressed. What's going on?
Well, I got a 4 on the heels of my 13 Constitution save.
13?
Yes.
Okay. So first and foremost, Renaissance and Hylan, since you guys are at the same initiative level, who wants to go first?
I'll let Renascence go first if he's amenable.
Okay. Hylan, as you see everybody starting to pull out weapons, you start to see the room sort of begin to tip a little bit, and you start to begin to lose your footing just a bit. You begin to feel like something was in that drink,
I knew it.
and you have the poisoned condition.
Mm-hmm.
For the record, I did not drink because I figured something was up with the drink.
Yep.
Totally understandable. You have disadvantage on attack rolls and ability checks
Okay.
for 1 minute. People start drawing weapons. The Kenku just loses it, and he ducks behind the bar, and he hides.
And he won initiative.
He got a 22. He goes, "Oh shit, and then he just ducks behind the bar. Ophelia, you're up next.
Okay. There's this thug by the stairs that's been standing at the back of the room.
Okay.
I'm going to run over to him, and I'm going to pull out my rapier and stab him.
Okay.
And that is an 11 to hit.
And 11 will hit. These are big, bulky dudes. I guess you could call them the Gamorrean guards of this particular encounter.
Love it. Well, that's going to do 7 piercing damage.
Awesome. You stab at this guy. He tries to dodge out of the way, but he's just too big. You get him right in the side. Anything else, Ophelia?
Yes, I am going to see Hylan falter a bit, sense that she needs some help, and I'm going to hum a happy tune and give her bardic inspiration.
Thanks.
You get to add 1d6 to any attack, saving throw.
Does it work for ability checks?
It does work for ability checks as well. Yeah.
Yeah, cool. Great, thank you.
Okay. It is now the 2 thugs in the room. It's their time to shine. One, of course, is right next to Ophelia. And you see, Ophelia, that these guys are armed with a sort of a big, heavy, leaden mace, which he will swing at you twice. The first is a 14.
14 is target, that will hit.
That's 3 bludgeoning damage.
Ouch.
He swings it and clips you right on the side of the face. And then he reels back, tries for a second swing, and he gets a 7. And it just whistles over your head.
All right.
The other thug, who's right next to Hylan, seizes the opportunity and also makes 2 attacks on Hylan. The first is a 15.
Yeah, that hits.
That is 6 bludgeoning damage. He sort of takes the end of it and just shoves it right into your ribcage with a solid thump. And then again pulls back for a backhand swing and rolled a 12, and you dodge under it, luckily. And that is their turn. Corbin, it is now your turn.
Being protective of my beer.
Always be protective of your bear. Corbin is going to look at the Vanthampur and the devil and say,
Bad choices, people.
and he's going to run to the very middle of the room, and he's going to hold up his holy symbol and say,
Ilmata, bring twilight down upon all of us.
And this thin sliver of like orange and yellowy sunset light is going to whoosh across the whole boat. I can get all the way from Renascence to Ofelia, so I can get all my teammates. And I'm going to use my Twilight Sanctuary, Channel Divinity.
Cool.
So at the end of everyone's turn, we all get temporary hit points. So I'll try not to be too disruptive, but
Awesome.
it is a lot.
Awesome.
So that was my action.
Great.
For his bonus action, he's going to point with his white finger right in between the spot where the devil is and Vanthampur is sitting on the couch. And another sliver is going to open up and a rectangular object is going to slide out of it. And it's all like frilly and tassely and it's got flowers on it and it's extremely colorful and it's a giant pillow and it's going to turn around and whomp right on the devil. And I'm going to cast Spiritual Weapon.
So your spiritual weapon is a pillow.
That's amazing.
Yes.
So fun.
So this has turned into a pillow fight. Okay, I'm all right with this.
23?
A 23? Yeah, who are you aiming that pillow
Oh, the devil.
at?
I'm sorry, it's aiming for the devil.
Yeah, well, it's a good thing that this devil has spines on it because the pillow doesn't burst into sort of feathers, but it does give the devil a gigantic smack in the face and it sort of reels back, hissing, and it is extremely perturbed. How much damage do you do?
5 points of force damage.
Oh, man, that is a heavy pillow.
That is one big pillow. And then I'm going to give myself temporary hit points because it's the end of the turn. It's a d6 plus 3, so it's 4.
All right.
Okay, 4 temp hit points to you.
And that is my turn.
Okay, it is now Amrick Vanthampur's turn. Amrick will pull out his rather sizable, it's more of a sort of a dagger than a sword, to be perfectly honest. It's just about like a foot long or so, and grabs it with a reverse grip and will attempt to stab you 3 times, Renascence. The first attack is a 19 to hit.
At his target.
That is 6 piercing damage. So he jams it into your shoulder. The second attack is a 15.
I get my boot up and just kick his arm away.
Excellent. And then the third attack is a 16.
I'm sitting, so I just pull both my feet up and he stabs the table.
He takes his dagger and sort of positions it in between the two of you and says, oh, this is going to be fun. I like this. You know you're going to die. Why are you doing this? Valtis, the bodyguard at the end of the bar, looks at you, Corbin, and since you are the closest to him, he'll take out both of his swords, like shing shing, and he will make 2 attacks, one with each sword. The first one is a 7, which I'm assuming will miss.
Yep.
And the second one is a 22. Ow! That will do 7 slashing damage on you.
When he hits me, it doesn't do as much damage as he thought because of the temp hit point. But it does get through.
Fair enough. All right, that is his turn. Now it is the Spine Devil's turn, Kashara. Kashara leaps off the couch and flaps her wings and flies to the top of this particular cabin. And you see that Kashara has this enormous long tail with these little spikes all over it. And she flicks her spikes at Hylan. That is a 13 to hit.
Misses.
Okay. Then she will flick her tail again at Corbin. That's an 11 to hit.
Misses.
Okay. Seeing that she has missed, unfortunately, she flies through the entire cabin, right past you, Corbin. And because this particular devil has a feature called Flyby, she can make her move without taking opportunity attacks.
Okay.
And she flies all the way down to the end of the cabin where Ofelia is. Ofelia, you see this devil coming straight for you. That's right about to maybe 10 feet away from you. And now it is Renascence's turn.
Okay. So, I was watching the drinks the whole time. I figured they were poison. I saw Hylan drink it, and I see she's woozy. So I throw myself down the length of the chaise lounge, but I don't break engagement with Amrick. So I just throw myself right in front of him on the couch. I reach out my hands, and I grab Hylan's wrist. I'm gonna lay hands on her for 5 hit points, but she does not get the hit points back. Instead, I neutralize the poison.
Wow.
Excellent. Yeah, it's like caffeine in the morning, Hylan. Woo! All that sort of wooziness gone in an instant.
Thank you.
Yeah, no worries. And as my bonus action, now that I've got my hand free, I take my hand back and I pull my longsword out of the sheath, and you see as I pull the blade out that the weapon flares with white-hot intensity, like it's just been taken out of a forge. And I turn and face Amrick, but I don't have another action. So I'd cast Searing Smite, but I can't attack him with it this round.
I gotcha.
And that's my turn.
Hylan, now you're up.
All right.
Real quick, I'm sorry. Ren, you get 5 temporary hit points.
You're welcome.
Oh, no apologies
Thank you.
necessary.
Yeah.
All right. Hylan is going to disengage from this thug, and she's going to go behind Amrick Vanthampur to flank him with Renascence.
Okay.
And then she is going to, she's just going to say, I've had bitter ale, and stab him with my short sword.
And I'm gonna leave you the worst Yelp review.
That's a 13 to hit.
A 13 will not hit. He sees you and he hears you utter these rather disturbing words to his ears. And as you come in with that strike, he ducks under it.
When he ducks, I just wink at Renascence.
The Kenku spends his turn hiding under the bar and hoping to God that he survives. Ophelia, it is your turn.
Okay, I will attack once again this guard in front of me with my rapier. That's a 14.
14 will hit.
He'll take 8 piercing damage.
Oh yeah, big hit right to the midsection.
All right.
Grunts again. Blood starts funneling out from his chest. He's not looking good.
She leans back so as to avoid getting the blood on her clothes. She's really, trying to maintain her nice new outfit.
Totally.
Yeah.
Anything else, Ophelia?
That's it for me.
All right. The thug who is bleeding next to you, but not getting any of his blood on your lovely costume, will attempt to once again hit you in the face with his mace. See what I did there?
Yeah, you rhymed. That was fun.
First one, unfortunately for you, is a crit, so that might bloody you just
Wait,
a bit.
no, wait, can I do, am I
Okay.
at a bard level where I can do cutting
I
words?
don't know. Can you?
I think so.
Yeah, sure can, I sure can.
According to Matt, you can't cutting words a crit.
Can't cutting words a crit? It doesn't say anything about that.
Hold on. I will check cutting
Yeah.
words. I don't know.
All I see is as a reaction when a creature that's not immune to being charmed within 60 feet makes an attack roll, ability check, or damage roll, you can expend one of Bardic Inspiration.
I think we...
Maybe
Ooh, Matt.
Because I always thought
Ooh.
critical
Maybe
hit...
it's not.
Hold on. Can a lore bard's cutting
Yeah.
words cancel a critical hit? Apparently, you cannot.
You're a very bad person.
The reason why I made this ruling is because Jeremy Crawford...
I met him.
Did you bring this up?
I did, and he got very
See, here's
angry.
the thing about Jeremy
and-
Crawford. Great guy. In 2015,
Mm-hmm.
he said, yes, you can. But in 2016, he said that they can't. Cutting words cannot
Oh, he was
nullify
clearly
critical
drunk.
hit.
He was drunk.
No. So here's what Jeremy Crawford says about that. He goes, sometimes I'm at like Home Depot and I get these messages and I have to respond, but I only have like 10 seconds because I'm online and I'm next. So I just answer real quick just because I feel the compulsion to
Mhm.
answer it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
can I use
I
it?
mean-
Yeah. Some hot takes here.
I'm going to go ahead and say at this level, you can't. But maybe
Okay.
at higher levels, you can.
In that case, critical hit. What happens to me?
This is 14 bludgeoning damage coming your way, Ophelia.
Ouch.
Sweet Jesus.
She's hurt pretty
Oh.
badly by that one.
Yeah, and that was the first of the 2 hits. Or potential hits, I should say. That one clocked you right in the face, Ophelia, unfortunately. And then he smiles, spits on the ground, says, "Batter up!" I don't know why he made a baseball reference. Whatever, it's cool.
What is a batter?
And
It's like churning butter.
Oh.
Same thing.
luckily for you, however, he rolled a 9 on his second hit, so that missed you.
Okay.
Whew.
Oh, should I have taken temporary hit points at the end of my turn?
Oh, I'm sorry. You have 7
Thank
temporary
you.
hit points.
Okay.
All right.
So I'm not quite as hurt as I had appeared to be.
Okay,
Great.
very cool. That is one of the thugs. The other thug will walk swiftly behind Renascence and attempt to smash him in the head with his mace. A 17 to hit
No, I get my shield up
Yes.
behind me and I block him.
and an 8, so he misses both times.
He sucks.
Just battering on your shield. Wham, wham. Corbin, you're up.
Corbin says in Infernal,
Sit, dog, sit.
and he reaches out with his big long arm and he can actually reach the devil and he's going to whack it with his hand and cast Inflict Wounds.
Oh boy.
A 15?
A 15 will hit.
Yes!
That would be 18 necrotic damage.
Damn!
Holy smokes.
Wow.
That's
Okay.
a great spell.
Good God. Well, yeah, I mean, it happened to Ofelia last time.
Does he sit?
So he sits.
It's a she.
Yes, it is a she.
She. I'm sorry.
Stop
Sorry.
misgendering
I
this imp,
apologize.
guys. You're just gonna make her angrier.
It's not an imp.
She's not an imp?
It's not an imp. Get
Yeah,
the
stop.
species
No,
right,
she's a
Ophelia.
spine
Oh my gosh.
racist.
Well,
It's a dog.
don't
Well,
misgender her.
the good news.
Sorry.
She's a devil dog.
A devil
Devil
dog.
dog. She's delicious.
Hi, everybody. The show will be back in just a minute for the second half. We hope you're enjoying Podcast Party Descent into Avernus, an actual play podcast from Cast Party. We're a group of D&D fans who happen to be professional actors, directors, artists, producers, and friends. We're also professional dungeon masters, and we're available to hire for special occasions, parties, corporate team building events, or anytime you need an adventure. Right now, we're running online games only, but breaking news, we are now in the process of plotting our return to hosting site-specific live D&D adventure experiences at locations in and around New York City this fall. For more info on that as it develops, check us out at cast-party.com and follow us on Facebook at castpartydnd, Twitter at castparty2, and Instagram at cast_party. In June, July, and August, we're offering monthly free online adventures with Dungeon Masters Rachel Savicki, Joe Rasso, and Sean Hendrickson. These free games fill up quickly, so if you'd like to grab a spot, you should join our email list or our Discord server. Links to both can be found at cast-party.com. On Discord, you can also check out Dungeon Masters Guild discounts and free bonus audio and video content, like my time-lapse series on crafting the spirit board from Van Richten's Guide to Ravenloft. On our website, you can find original artwork of our characters, and we're posting maps, pics, and other background material to give you some visuals to go along with the story. Our merch store features all the official Cast Party apparel and accessories that the cool kids are wearing. If you enjoy Podcast Party Descent into Avernus, please follow the show, rate us, leave us a review. We're doing this as a labor of love. A labor of love? We're totally doing this as a labor of love. I mean, who doesn't love D&D? I know I do. Anyway, it really helps us a lot if you rate us and stuff. We'd love to hear from you. Message us on social media or email us at info@cast-party.com. Thanks very much for listening. And now, back to our adventure in Baldur's Gate.
Corbin, the good news is not only have you made this particular spine devil sit, but you have made her roll over and play dead, because this devil falls to the ground, smokes, lights on fire, and then turns to this awful sludge-like goop and is gone.
Oh, so good.
Nice.
Vanthampur, your dog is dead. Oh, and here, rest your head on my pillow.
And I'll take a shot at him with my pillow with my bonus action.
Love it.
20 dirty.
Absolutely, will hit.
That'll be 5 points of force damage.
All right. Yeah, he gets biffed in the face with a pillow, and he goes, yeah, my nose.
Corbin is just going to kind of scoot around this strange-looking guy that is hitting him with the two swords, and that's his turn, except he gets 7 temporary hit points.
All right. Amrick turns to the last person who attempted to stab him, who was Hylan, and he will attempt to stab you 3 times.
Bring it.
All right. The first attack is a 21 to hit.
That hits.
That's 5 piercing damage. He sort of scoots and nails you right in the shoulder with the first hit, reverses his grip to a forehand grip, misses you with a 13, and then swipes at you with a 17.
That hits.
Another 6 piercing damage.
Okay.
And then he will take 2 opportunity attacks, one from you, Hylan, one from you, Renascence, as he makes his potential escape.
All right.
Okay.
You will have advantage on both of your
That's
hits.
a crit!
Oh, shit. That's a lot of damage, I assume.
Okay, so
Oh, and I got him as well with a 22.
Oh, both of you hit. Yeah, so tell me how much damage you both did. This was probably not a wise move.
Okay, I do 14 points of piercing damage plus 18 sneak attack.
For a total of
32 points of damage.
drop.
Ouch.
Big hit from Hylan. Just as he comes
Here's
out
the
the
thing.
side, she just, I mean, tell me, Hylan, this is the first crit you've done with your short swords instead of your bow. What does this look like?
Okay, he stabs me once in the shoulder, and then I dodge the second one, and then he gets me again, and then this bastard tries to run away, so I pick up my short sword, I switch my grip to a downward grip, and I stab him right through the back as he's running away. It comes right out the front.
He shrieks in pain. Renascence, you probably followed through with a longsword, I'm assuming?
Yeah, now here's the thing. The Searing Smite was active on my sword.
It was.
So he gets hit with that. He takes 6 slashing damage from the longsword, and from the Searing Smite, he's going to take an additional 9 fire damage
Oh, shit.
All right.
for 15 total damage, plus he is on fire.
That sucks.
So my sword's no longer glowing once it hits him, but he bursts into flames.
Oh, God.
He's going to have to save against that on his turn.
Okay.
But here's the thing. I'm going to dump a Divine Smite on him as well.
God.
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah, you are.
So
This is a pretty awesome 1-2 attack here.
Surrounded by a rogue and a paladin is not good.
So yeah, he's going to take 11 radiant in addition to the 15.
Okay.
So he took 6 slashing, 9 fire, and 11 radiant, and he's on fire.
My God.
Yeah, he is not looking good. He is screaming, running around, just obviously immolated, and is in a very, very bad way. And he's running for the stairs.
No.
Oh, wait.
Which stairs?
The stairs to the top deck.
I have 10-foot reach, so if he runs past me, he's getting hit.
Go for it.
Corbin takes a swipe at him with a 22.
That will hit.
7 points of slashing damage.
Corbin, he only had 3.
Oh,
Do you wish to end Amrick Vanthampur's life?
should we do this? Ooh.
Absolutely.
No,
This is Corbin's decision.
Corbin, as he's passing by, Corbin just slides Deadeye Scimitar and slices him right across the neck.
Okay, his head pops off and lands on the deck. Valtus and the thugs gasp and scream in fury as you have decapitated their lord and master, as well as his pet. And the rest of his flaming body sort of clutches at his neck as an instinctual reaction, and then he just falls flaming to the ground in 2 pieces.
Oh.
I got him, guys. I got him.
He's in 2 flaming pieces.
God.
That was not necessarily how I expected that conversation to go.
No.
Well, you shot at his.
Yeah, you kind of.
Well, he did poison you. I don't think his intentions were on the up and up, to be honest.
Yeah, no, it's totally fine.
He had a devil with
Well,
him.
we don't have time to talk about this because there's still people trying to kill us.
There are people trying to kill you, and they will attempt to do so. It is now their turn. The individual who, with the red hair, who was essentially his bodyguard, who has failed in his duty, will now
sucks.
kill his, or attempt to kill his would-be assassin with 2 sword strikes to you, Corbin.
Okay.
The first is a 16,
Clang off my shield.
and the second is a 21.
Ouch.
That is 8 slashing damage to you, sir.
I had 7 temps, so he thinks he gets a good shot, but he just kind of nicks me a little.
All right, that is his turn. It is now Renascence's turn.
Okay, I turn to the thug behind me, and I'm just going to swing at him with my longsword, which is no longer glowing white hot. 14 on that.
That will hit him.
And I slash him for 9 slashing damage.
All right. Big hit from Renascence to the guard behind you. He grunts in pain as you nail him in the leg.
And Corbin, do I get some temporary hit points?
You do.
This just overwrites. It doesn't stack, right? It just overwrites what I got last time.
When you get 2 sets, you can choose the higher. So this is 6 points.
Got it. And that will end my turn.
Hylan, you're up.
Okay, I am in shock. I'm going to. I got a little carried away with the stabbing, and now he's dead. I'm going to dodge under this pillow and walk over to the thug that Renascence is fighting, and I'm going to stab that thug with my short swords. That's a 19 to hit on the first hit.
Absolutely. Yeah, that'll hit.
Okay, that does 8 piercing and 7 sneak attack for a total of 15.
You sneak in there and give him a good one. He's looking real rough.
Okay, and then I'm gonna hit him with one more short sword attack. That's a 6.
Yeah, that will not hit.
Yeah.
He clangs down on your second attack, and he blood is dripping out of his mouth, and he's just coughing, but he's still up.
Okay, I'm gonna stay where I am.
All right.
You can have 5 temporary hit points.
Thank you.
Unless you already have more.
I don't, thank you. There, I used them up.
It is now the Kenku's turn, and amidst all of this, the Kenku is literally holding his little bird-like talons to the side of its head and screaming, "No violence! No violence! No violence!" And that clearly hasn't gone his way very much. Ofelia, it's your turn now.
Well, I suppose I will attack this guard once again with my rapier. It's been working out pretty well so far, and it's the only thing she can think to do in this very terrifying situation. So that's an 8 to hit.
An 8 will not hit.
Yeah, that's gonna miss. She'll run in front of the staircase leading upstairs to block the way from the thug.
Make a perception check, Ofelia.
Sure. That's an 18.
You hear several things. One, you hear the fall of boots on the deck above, and you hear several voices saying, "The master's in trouble. Someone's come to kill him. Come on!"
Shit.
I guess I call to the others and I say there's more people coming downstairs.
Okay.
You get 7 temporary hit points.
Thank you. I need them.
She's gonna need it because there are 2 thugs coming down the stairs. One pulls out his mace, sees the bloody thug on the other end of Ophelia's reach, sees the blood on Ophelia's rapier. Clearly, you are the offending interloper here, and he will rush to you and attack you twice with his mace. There is another thug a little bit higher on the steps. He pulls out from his back a heavy crossbow and fires a shot at you. So 2 attacks,
Sure.
I should say 3 attacks coming your way. 1 in melee and 1 firing you from ranged.
I really was hoping they'd all be in melee.
The arrow whizzes by your head and embeds itself in the deck with a 5. And the 2 mace attacks are a 21
Yeah.
to hit, doing 8 bludgeoning damage, and a 12, which will miss you.
Not looking great. She's looking pretty bloody.
Yeah, that is NG. The other thug on the other end of the deck between Renascence and Hylan will make his last stand. He will swing at the less armored opponent, who is Hylan, but potentially the more dexterous one. And he will swing twice at you with his mace. The first is a 16,
That hits.
and the second is a 13.
Misses.
6 bludgeoning damage to you, Hylan.
Okay.
And now it is Corbin's turn.
All right. Corbin is going to try to grab this. What's his name? Voltus. He's going to try to grapple him.
Okay, that will be an opposed athletics check.
9.
A 9. He rolled a 4.
Okay.
So weakly, he's just like puts up his hands to try to brace for your attack, and you don't even put effort into it. You got him.
So Corbin grabs him and he walks him. Oh, he can walk half his speed with this guy, and he's going to walk 5 feet, and he's going to drop him down the staircase.
Ooh.
Okay. He won't drop that far. He'll only drop like 5 feet.
I don't care. That's
Okay.
fine.
All right. So he goes, what are you doing? And like you just heave him over the edge like an old cowboy movie, and he's going, "Ugh!" And he falls 5 feet. He'll attempt to stop himself by grabbing onto the railing by making a dexterity saving throw, which he fails with a 5.
He sucks.
Well, you know, bugs. What are you going to do, man? And he will take 1d6 points of damage. And he'll take about 3 damage. This is the first time he's actually been hit in this entire fight by him being thrown down the well of a staircase.
Corbin will glance at him and say,
Stay down there. Don't be stupid or you'll be dead like your master and his dog.
Okay.
and then Corbin is going to, I think he has like maybe 10 feet left of movement. He's going to move towards Ofelia.
Okay.
Okay, that will unfortunately provoke an opportunity attack. Faltus does have swords, which he can fit.
Oh,
sort
from
of-
down the stairs, he can reach me?
Yeah, he can. Yeah, he's only 5 feet down.
Oh, if he can reach me, then I'm not going to go for the opportunity attack. I'm going to stay where I am.
Okay.
Okay. Then I am going to bring the pillow over. I'm going to move it towards that thug that's by Ren and Hylan, and I'm going to try to hit the thug with the pillow.
Go for it.
Night, night.
And that's a 15.
15 will hit.
10 points of force damage from a pillow.
Embarrassing.
Enough to knock him way
The
the
end
heck
of One
out.
Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest.
Oh
You mother.
Oh, that would be great.
The thug sees the pillow coming and he's just like, and you watch as the pillow magically just envelops itself around the thug's head. And you watch the thug land on the ground, grasping at this magical pillow, and then his hand goes limp.
And that's my turn.
That went dark there for a super, good 10 seconds there.
All
Sorry,
right.
guys. Little shivers
I
there.
blend tall.
Okay.
yeah, he said Cuckoo's Nest.
Yeah, me too.
I get 6 temporary hit points.
Valtus will get up from his prone position on the stairs, and he will attempt to climb up to deck level with you. So that's just half his speed, and he will make 2 more attacks on you, Corbin. He does not like being thrown down a stairwell. The first one's a crit.
Ow.
That's 8 slashing damage.
Once again, most of that's absorbed by the temporary hit points, but he does get through a little bit.
Okay. The second attack is a 22 to hit.
Ow. Yeah, that hits. That hurts.
That's another 8 slashing damage.
Corbin's getting hurt. Ugh.
All right, that is Valtus's turn. Renascence, it's your turn now.
Okay, I grimace at the pillow smothering the thug to death, and I step away. I step around Hylan, and I get next to Valtus, but I'm going to kind of swing around behind him without breaking engagement with him, so I'm next to both Valtus and the Kenku bartender.
Okay.
And I lean into the Kenku, and I hiss at him. Oh, sorry. Question DM.
Yeah.
I can hear that Ofelia is fighting some thugs that are trying to come downstairs. Are they in the stairwell? Do they have a view of this deck?
No, they
can
do
they
not.
see?
They only see
Okay.
Ofelia and the other thug on the other side of her.
Got it. So I lean in, I hiss to the Kenku, and I say, you tell them to fuck off and go away in Amrick's voice. I know you heard him say it. Say it or you're dead.
Make an intimidation check.
Ooh. I love it.
Nice.
Can I have advantage because I hold my sword at him or something? It doesn't matter. It's an 11.
Oh, yeah. The Kenku just he can't hear you because his talons are over his ears. And he's just going, no violence, no violence.
Okay, can I assume that was a free action because I'm just
Yeah,
speaking.
you're speaking, exactly.
Can I take my action to try that again and pull his hands away so he has to hear me?
Sure, I will allow that.
Okay. So I say, tell them to fuck off in Amrick's voice, bird. I know you hear him say it all the time. Fuck off and go away.
The Kenku looks at you, his beady eyes just meet yours. For the first time, Renascence, in a long time, your eyes flare with this crimson hue. The Kenku is immediately just intimidated by your very presence. Make your intimidation check.
20.
A 20?
20.
Holy crap. The Kenku just stops immediately. Like you're telling a small child and it just stops crying for some reason or another. Just it realizes that this kind of attitude is not going to work. Not that I have any experience with this kind of thing at all. And I love my children very much. And the Kenku just immediately just blurts out in Amrick's voice, "Oi, you guards, fuck off. We're fighting down here." The guards in the stairwell, who are in the process of beating poor Ofelia half to death, in mid-swing, just stop and freeze. They're like, "What? What did you say?" And the Kenku repeats in the exact same tone and mannerism. "Oi, you guards, fuck off! We're fighting down here." That's what he does.
Okay. That took my action, so there I am.
Okay.
I get some temp hit points again, I assume.
You get 8.
It's good.
Thank you, Renascence. Hylan, you're up now.
Okay, what in the hell is going on?
Loving this fight more and more every round. It's just absolutely gonzo bullshit.
Okay, so I cannot see those people in the stairwell. I just hear her reacting to being hit.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I gotta go help her. So I move about 20 feet closer to the stairwell. I'm not quite on it. Can I see them?
You can see the furthest south one that is right next to Ofelia. There are walls on the stairwell heading down to this level, so you can't see if there are any others. But you can hear voices.
Yeah, as she charges past me, I just hiss, "Don't blow what I just did."
What I will point out to you, Carrie, which you would know, is that the one that has been down here the whole time and has seen what has happened. So.
Right. So he could just yell something any minute.
Yeah. I don't want to tell you what to do, but if you were to kill this guy, it might be more convenient and more effective.
Okay, I'm going to bonus action dash 10, 15, 20, 25. And I'm going to go right next to Ofelia.
Okay.
And I'm going to look down at these two guys. And I'm going to say, we're just having a little fun up here. If you don't want to be part of the carnage, I would get out like he told you. I don't know if you've ever been in one of his little games, but get the hell out of here. And then I'm going to stab this thug in front of Ofelia.
Oh, okay. I thought you were going to try to convince them that oh yeah, this is what, Amrick Vanthampur does for fun.
Yeah, I am.
He just stabs people for fun.
I am.
And then you just stab more. Oh my God.
That's what I'm doing. No, what I'm doing is I'm saying we're playing a game up here where it's every person for themselves. If you don't want to get in on this
Battle
game.
Battle Royale kind of shit. I love it. Okay, I got you.
So I'm going to stab
the
him.
most dangerous game. Okay. Shit.
That's a 13 to hit.
A 13 will still hit.
That does 7 piercing and 7 sneak attack for 14.
Holy crap. Okay, that's the one furthest south, correct?
And I'm kind of looking at them as I'm stabbing him, like, get out.
Yeah, the two thugs on the stairwell see you stab this thug, and he sort of grips your short sword as it slides into him, and you sort of withdraw it, and the blood spurts on you, and you have these golden eyes and extremely intimidating demeanor. Ofelia is, of course, badly hurt. The thugs look at each other. One makes a morale check, which I'm going to call a wisdom saving throw after seeing that rather gruesome deal. Oh, he fails massively.
Right.
He's like, yep, I'm out. And he just runs up the stairs past his companion. The other one will also make a morale check, seeing that this is not cool. Wisdom saving throw, gets an 11. He pieces out as well.
Great.
Yeah, these two guards are not paid enough to be killed by a roving band of maniacs. Okay, well done. Anything else, Hylan?
No, I'm standing right there looking at Ofelia and checking her and seeing if I could do anything.
Okay.
You can have 6 temporary hit points.
Thank you.
Ofelia, it is your turn.
This other guard's still up, right?
Oh yeah, he's not looking good. You and Hylan have done a deal on him.
I will run around to the opposite side of him so that I'm flanking with Hylan.
Okay.
Just to give myself that extra little advantage.
Yep.
And I will try to swing one final time with my rapier and end this. So that's going to be a 24 to hit.
Oh, you better believe it hits. How much damage?
8 piercing damage.
You pierce him right through the place that bleeds the most, and he falls to the ground, dead. Unless, of course, you don't want him to be, in which case he will take non-lethal damage.
I want him to be.
Well, congratulations, you've killed him. Good job.
Oh, thank you.
Kudos to you.
Having dispatched him, Ofelia will run just to the far side of the staircase, headed toward the rest of her friends.
Okay, since you and Hylan are closest to the staircase, I'd like both of you guys to make perception checks.
I got a 23 crit.
I got a 17.
Both of you are hearing massive turmoil from above deck. People screaming, murder, murder, get out of here, they're all crazy. And is the last cool yet? And then just like a whole bunch of people just running above deck, footfalls everywhere. It's just a massive, enormous amount of noise.
What a mess.
There are no thugs remaining on this deck. So Corbin, it is your turn.
Ofelia, you get 4 temporary hit points.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Corbin will look at Valtis and say,
Everyone's dead, yield, idiot.
and he'll bring his pillow up closer and he'll whomp him with the pillow. Whomp for a 21.
That will hit.
6 force damage.
All right, is your intention to sort of make him yield with that rather withering pillow hit?
Yes, and then I'm going to hold up my scimitar ready to attack, and if he doesn't yield, I'm just going to strike him.
Make an intimidation check.
19. Actually, I crit, but I'm -1 on intimidation, so I got a 19.
Wow, well, you're a bugbear. Aren't you supposed to be all intimidating and stuff?
Not this one.
No.
You talk to
not.
him? He's so sweet.
I'm kind of skinny and
That's true. That's true.
Awkward. I'm like, surrender. Yeah. So yeah, you should surrender. Right? Okay. Right. Please surrender.
Although you did get a 19, so I guess it's pretty
He
good.
did get a 19, indeed. Voltus is like, he's on his knees and he's sort of like trying to hold himself up. And he's still got 2 swords. And he looks around and he sees all these bodies everywhere, including the one that has been severed in half of his boss. And he's like, oh, shit. Fine. And he just clank, clank, drops both swords on the deck.
and I'll use my action to just pin his arms behind his back and hold him.
Okay, he does not resist.
Are those swords nicer than my swords?
You're already stealing his shit. In like literally 1 second.
Yeah, they're pretty good. They'll do the same amount of damage.
Okay,
but yeah,
then whatever. I'll leave them.
And I'll give myself 5 temporary hit points.
Okay, as far as you are aware, you do not see any more combatants here, so you are technically out of combat.
How do we get off the ship?
I point to the Kenku. I say, you don't go anywhere. I point to Voltus and I say, you. Has your boss got a diary, journal, papers, anything like that?
What's down below?
Volta says, it's those that the boss didn't really like very much, so he's kind of stowed them down there till till they paid up.
I say, what about an office?
He doesn't keep any of his business trappings here. This is where he does his business, but all of the records, I have never seen them here.
I say, tell me about Firstwell.
What about him?
They're on good terms. Been seeing a lot of each other lately.
Oh, he comes in every, I don't know, week and a half or so. Skinny little gidget.
They seem friendly.
I don't know. I see Amrick looking him up and down. Thirstwell, he's got this sort of hump. They don't really necessarily look like brothers. There's no family resemblance, if you ask me.
Ofelia uses message so that only her companions can hear her. Could we make this look like a frame job? Perhaps the people he has down below broke out and killed him, or Thirstwell did.
Yeah, we have to do something. I respond.
I respond, we make it look like this guy did it.
And I toss my thumb at Voltus.
I say, Hylan, search both halves of Amrick, will
Yeah,
you?
that's what I was about to do.
One half is just a head. I mean, there's not much to search. Maybe an
You
earring.
have a nice earring, you don't know.
Yeah, right. Nose ring, right.
I
Lip ring.
rifle through the bisected corpse of Amrick Vanthampur.
Ew.
Cool. Can I give her guidance?
Sure.
Guidance. I can reach. You're 10 feet
Yeah,
away.
thank you. Please do that.
You're welcome.
And then I also have Bardic Inspiration.
Ofelia says out loud to Voltus, why were you working for him? Was he paying you or did he have something on you?
He says, nah, Amrick's always paid me. I guess I'll have to find new employment.
You will.
I say, they talk in front of you, Amrick and Thirstwell. What are they up to? What's the plan?
Listen, I'm not privy to very much information, but what I do know, I'm going to get my ass torched by the flaming fist now. If your intent is to toss this one and in my direction, I'm not stupid.
Insight check. Can I tell if he's lying or holding something back?
Sure.
I rolled a 15.
Yeah, he seems to be telling the truth.
So you know well enough that we're in good with Captain Zodge. Whether your name comes into it or not is entirely dependent on how cooperative you decide to be. Now tell me about Amrick and Thirstwell and what they talked about.
Oh, I see. So you're just assassins for the flaming fist. I get it. Nice.
Well, no need to cast aspersions, mate. We've all got a job to do.
I get it. It's this little war between the Flaming Fist and the Vanthampurs. I get it. Yeah, no problem, no problem. I see how it is.
When he gets snappy there, I twist his arms behind his back a little harder, like, don't talk back.
I say, listen, mate, I'm trying to help you walk out of here with both your arms and legs on, right? He's not as nice as me, so help me help you. What did they talk about?
All I know is that he come in here every once in a while. Amrick would lend him money. Thirstwell would talk about him and his mother up at that bloody manor of theirs in the upper city, and how well they're doing, whatever that means. Talked about, I don't know, some bloody, what do you call it? He sort of snaps his fingers behind his back and he says, some deal they made with some group, the Three, I think he called it. I don't know.
Dead three.
Oh yeah, the Dead Three. How could I forget that? Jeez. Yeah.
What deal?
I don't know. He never really mentioned it in more than a couple of words in passing. It seems like they knew what they were talking about. They talk about the mum a lot, though. Seems like they were mummy's boys.
What do you know about their mother?
Who doesn't know about Amrick Vanthampur? She's a tough old broad, that's for sure. She'll rule this city one day, considering the other people on the council. Shh, bunch of weaklings, except for, of course, the Duke. But seeing as he runs a flaming fist, I don't see any problem there, right?
Well, surely you know more about her than the average citizen, given your close proximity to her family.
Yeah, she never came down here. I guess she considers it too low of a station to come down here, visit her bloody son.
We have to get out of here, and we have to find a way to pin this on somebody else.
Let's go have a look at the brig. Come on, Voltus. And you too, Tweety.
Wait, everyone. Eyes of Twilight.
We all have 300 feet of dark vision.
Thank you.
Well, my friends, not this idiot. But my friend.
I got a dirty 20 on investigating his bisected corpse.
Okay. Amrick Vanthampur's flaming bisected corpse has...
Barbecue.
Delicious. It has a couple things on it. It has a charred pouch of some kind of material. You're not quite sure what it is. It's smoking. Like there's a whole lot of smoke coming out of it, but it is clearly ruined from the flame that has been applied to his entire body. And he also has on the inside of his vest a small bottle of a bluish liquid.
Okay. Does anybody know what this is? I hold it up.
Corbin is going to cast a tech magic. He's going to regular cast it.
Yep. Nothing glowing in that bottle.
Probably what he spiked your drink with.
I'm going to pocket it.
Anything within 30 feet?
No, actually. Nothing glowing within 30 feet.
I say, let's take a look at the brig. Might be someone down there who doesn't deserve to be down there.
We have to look, and we have to look fast because those imps are up there and they just saw everybody run out.
Right, and we'll take this fool down with us. He'll go first.
And you too, Tweety.
Gods.
Tweety. Oh, that's funny.
Ofelia. Legs or face? Because I'm carrying this body down there. Which half do you want?
My God.
Corbin will take the head. He doesn't care.
All right, Corbin, thanks.
Corbin,
What?
not to get grisly, but could be we maybe should hang on to that head.
You want it?
Yeah, I guess. You chirps, you got a sack, like a takeaway bag.
You talking to the Kanku?
Yeah.
Chirps, Tweety. How could I miss these obvious allusions? And the Kanku goes, doggy bag.
Yeah.
Doggy
Yeah,
bag.
hold that open. I pick up Amrick's charred head and I just drop it into the sack.
Okay. You now have a charred head in your inventory.
So if no one objects, I say we march Voltus and the Kanku down into the brig.
Yep. There's a dead guy in front of the stairs over there. Should we move him or just leave him?
I vote to make a pile of dead bodies in that stairwell so nobody can come behind us. Or at least make it difficult. Do something.
I don't think there's an exit through the brig, so we're coming back up here.
Is there any other way off this ship? Ofelia asks Voltus.
Volta says, nah, it's up and out. No.
Ofelia casts message again just to her friends and says we could try sinking it or torching it, I suppose.
Rather not be on board when that happens.
Let's check below quick, though.
Yeah,
Come on.
Yeah.
Hylan's going to stay on the steps just with her head peeking out so she can still keep an eye on this level while they're down there.
All right.
I say, sorry, Ofelia, do you think you could switch off with Hylan because that way you can message us down here if there's trouble up there, and I think we're going to need her to pick some locks down here.
Makes sense.
That's a good idea. I'll switch with you, Hylan.
Okay, thanks, Ofelia.
Okay, I will stay on middeck.
Okay. Voltus is pushed down the stairs by Corbin, then the Kanku, and then Renascence. Hylan behind.
Thanks for listening. This episode featured the Dungeon Master stylings of Matt Gordon, with Tal Aviezer as Renascence, Andy Cannistra as Painbearer Corbin Shiv, Rachel Tamarin as Ofelia, and me, Carolyn Fox, as Hylan. This episode was edited by me and Tal Aviezer. Our original theme music is by Lauren Anker and Anthony DiMasso, two of the nicest people you're ever going to meet. Some sound effects in this episode are courtesy of Syrinscape. Also, check out Monument Studios. They have a great fantasy pack and cinematic pack. And once you buy it, you can use it in your podcasts or wherever you want. It's really high quality, and I love them, and I use them a lot in this podcast. So check them out. Remember, if you enjoy Podcast Party Descent into Avernus, please follow the show, rate us, and leave us a review. Thanks very much for listening. We'll be back in 2 weeks with the next episode. Have we fought Sturges in this campaign, or is that other campaigns I've fought in?
That's other campaigns.
Definitely not this campaign.
Every other campaign.
All right.
Literally everyone.
Sturges, the cockroaches of the D&D world. Yep, indeed.
Duct tape.